The James Webb Space Telescope has shared images so sharp and detailed that scientists believe they could change how we see space forever. What Webb has revealed about Proxima b is not just another scientific update, it's a story that could rewrite humanity's place in the cosmos. Proxima Centauri is the closest star to us, just over 4 light-years away. It's a dim red dwarf, invisible to the naked eye, but orbiting it is Proxima b, a rocky planet almost the size of Earth. When astronomers discovered it in 2016, it immediately became the most exciting exoplanet in the galaxy. Why? Because it sits inside the so-called habitable zone, the orbital sweet spot where temperatures could allow liquid water. For years, scientists debated, is it a lifeless rock blasted by solar radiation? Or could it be the second Earth we've been searching for? But speculation has limits. Until now, Proxima b was a mathematical ghost, detected only by the wobble it caused in its star. No images, no details, just hints and data. That all changed when Webb turned its golden mirrors toward this tiny world. Using its powerful infrared vision, Webb pierced through the glare of Proxima Centauri and captured what astronomers are calling the clearest look at Proxima b ever achieved. But the surprises inside those images went far beyond expectations. The first shock? There are signs of an atmosphere. Webb's instruments detected the spectral fingerprints of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and possibly methane swirling above the planet's surface. These aren't just random gases, they're ingredients of a living, breathing world. And then came the second shock. The data hinted at something reflective, something shifting across the planet's surface in patterns scientists struggled to explain. Some believe it could be vast oceans, glinting under the faint red sunlight of their star. But one detail, hidden on the planet's nightside, sparked the loudest debate of all. A faint, persistent glow. Too regular to be volcanic, too constant to be natural. Some dared to say it resembled artificial light. Artificial light. Think about that for a second. If true, it would mean Proxima b isn't just habitable, it might be inhabited. For decades, astronomers dreamed of the day we'd see another Earth. But Proxima b was always frustrating, close enough to tempt us, yet impossibly far away. 4 light-years doesn't sound like much, until you realize that even our fastest spacecraft, Voyager 1, would need more than 70,000 years to get there. That's longer than all of recorded human history. So until now, Proxima b was little more than a ghost story in the stars. But Webb's observations have shifted the conversation. No longer are we wondering if Proxima b could hold life. The question is slowly becoming, what kind of life could possibly exist there? The Webb data didn't just show gases and glimmers. Some scientists interpret subtle spectral features as hints of something biological, patterns similar to those produced by algae, corals, or even dense forests back on Earth. Of course, skeptics caution against jumping to conclusions. Nature often plays tricks. Volcanoes, minerals, or atmospheric chemistry can mimic life's signature. But even so, the possibility lingers. Could oceans on Proxima b shimmer with alien plankton? Could its coastlines hide something stranger, something intelligent, gazing up at the same stars we do? And if that faint nightside glow is real, steady, artificial, deliberate, it would be the first sign in human history of another civilization's technology. But here's the cruel twist. Even if Proxima b is alive, even if civilizations thrive beneath its skies, getting there is almost impossible. Our rockets, built for the Moon and Mars, are laughably weak on an interstellar scale. To reach Proxima in a single human lifetime, we'd need to travel at nearly 10% the speed of light. At that velocity, a journey would still take 40 years. Chemical fuel won't cut it. If we tried, the rocket would need more mass than every planet in our solar system combined. So scientists have looked elsewhere, at ideas that sound more like science fiction than engineering. Futuristic propulsion concepts, ion and plasma engines, steady, efficient thrust. But at their current speeds, they'd still take tens of thousands of years. Nuclear pulse propulsion, Project Orion, detonating atomic bombs behind a spacecraft to push it forward, terrifying. But in theory, it could reach Proxima in just a couple of centuries. Solar sails, vast sheets of reflective material pushed by sunlight. Elegant, but too slow unless supercharged by something else. Laser sails. Here's where things get exciting. Imagine Earth-based lasers firing at a sail the size of a kite, carrying a microchip-sized probe. Accelerated to 1/5 the speed of light, it could reach Proxima in just 20 years. This is the vision of Project Starshot, a real initiative backed by some of the world's brightest minds. And now, with Webb's revelations fueling global curiosity, projects like Starshot are no longer just wild ideas. They're becoming urgent. If there's even a chance of life on Proxima b, don't we have a duty to find out? But here's the curious part. What if we actually succeed? What if we launch those tiny probes, and what they send back is undeniable proof, not just of alien life, but of alien intelligence? Would humanity be ready to face that truth? The image that sparked it all. When the first processed image from James Webb's Deep Field campaign of Proxima Centauri b was revealed, the world went silent. Not because it was crystal clear. On the contrary, it was blurry, pixelated, like a ghost seen through frosted glass. But within that hazy blur were shapes our minds couldn't ignore. A faint glimmer outlining a curve that looked uncannily like a coastline, a dark patch that resembled a continent, and most haunting of all, a scatter of lights along the planet's nightside, small, steady points that looked disturbingly familiar. To the untrained eye, it could have been noise, an artifact of data processing. But to dreamers, philosophers, and even cautious scientists, it whispered of something extraordinary: artificial illumination. Imagine that for a moment. A world orbiting the nearest star beyond our sun, glowing faintly in the dark, as if cities or settlements dotted its surface. For the first time in human history, the idea of alien civilization was not confined to Hollywood scripts. It was buried in actual space telescope data. The debate erupted instantly. Some researchers argued that the so-called lights were nothing more than reflections from the planet's atmosphere, tricks of starlight bent by Proxima's violent solar flares. Others insisted the patterns were too consistent to dismiss. Meanwhile, Webb's infrared spectra told another story. Hints of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane in curious ratios. The kind of ratios, on Earth, that life itself tends to maintain. It was like finding a locked chest washed up on a beach. You don't know what's inside, but the keyhole is enough to keep you awake at night. A thought experiment. Suppose for a moment the lights are real. What would that mean? It would imply not just life, but intelligence. Beings who harness energy, build structures, and perhaps even gaze back at us. The nightside glow might be sprawling cities, powered by alien technology. Or it might be something stranger, vast farms, bioluminescent organisms engineered for light, or colossal alien machines feeding on the planet's magnetic field. And if they are intelligent, do they know we exist? Have they already seen Earth shining across the void, just as we see them now? Governments reacted cautiously. Publicly, most agencies called for patience, reminding everyone that Webb was not designed to take photographs of exoplanets like a camera. It interprets light and translates it into data. Privately, however, the urgency was undeniable. If Proxima b harbors intelligence, then our place in the cosmos has already changed. Suddenly, long-dormant starflight concepts were being dusted off. Laser sail prototypes, nuclear propulsion studies, generational arc ship designs, all were revived with fresh funding. For the first time in decades, the dream of interstellar travel felt less like science fiction and more like a geopolitical race. Picture this: a probe, no larger than your smartphone, accelerated to a fraction of light speed by an array of Earth-based lasers. It sails across interstellar space for 20 years, crossing the gulf between suns, until at last it arrives. Its tiny camera snaps the first clear images of Proxima b and beams them back home. What would it show? Rolling alien oceans tinted green under a dim red sun? Towering forests of glassy, crystalline life? Or perhaps, unmistakably, the glittering grid of cities, the sharp angles of architecture, proof that intelligence has blossomed twice in the universe? The thought is intoxicating. It is terrifying, and it is inevitable that we will one day find out. But here lies the paradox. The closer we come to answering the question, are we alone, the more dangerous the answer becomes. If we find nothing, perhaps we are safe, but also utterly alone in a cold cosmos. If we find microbes, life is common, but fragile. If we find civilizations, then the universe is alive with minds. And suddenly, humanity is no longer the only voice in the dark. Would they welcome us as neighbors, or regard us as intruders? This is the razor's edge on which the James Webb discovery balances. A handful of faint lights, spectral whispers, and human imagination colliding into one staggering possibility, that the universe has been watching us all along. The alien question. Imagine the boardrooms of world powers after the Webb data dropped. Generals, scientists, and diplomats sitting around oak tables, staring at grainy images of Proxima B's nightside glow. The question no one dared to say aloud lingered in the air. What if they are more advanced than us? On Earth, power is measured by armies, economies, and technology. But in a cosmic neighborhood, what use are tanks and jets if another species has mastered energy far beyond our understanding? In the silence of those meetings, the realization hit. Humanity might already be the junior species in a relationship it did not choose. Meanwhile, the streets buzzed with a different energy. Social media filled with hashtags. #Hello Proxima, #We are not alone, #Lights in the dark. Some saw hope, believing aliens could be saviors who solved problems like climate change or disease. Others saw doom, convinced that even revealing our existence could invite conquest. Religious leaders gave sermons, some proclaiming the lights as a divine sign that creation is vast and interconnected, others warning that demons wear many disguises. Musicians wrote ballads about the neighbors under a red sun. Poets spoke of lonely planets finding each other across eternity. For the first time since Apollo, Earth felt united. Not in certainty, but in wonder. Close your eyes and picture the scene. A dense alien city, bathed not in yellow sunlight but in a faint crimson glow from its parent star. Towers stretch like needles into the atmosphere. Roads shimmer with strange vehicles, maybe floating, maybe slithering, maybe flying on wings we cannot imagine. Children of another world play under skies where auroras ripple like rivers of fire. Their ancestors might have looked up, just as ours did, and wondered if someone was out there. And tonight, as their artificial lights pierce the planetary night, perhaps they are seeing our sun twinkle faintly back. The mirror thought is chilling. If we can imagine them, perhaps they are imagining us too. But curiosity is a double-edged blade. Do we dare signal them, broadcasting radio waves stronger than before, deliberately saying, "We are here"? Or do we remain silent, watching, listening, like prey crouched in the tall grass? Some argue silence is safety. Others argue silence is impossible. After all, Earth has been leaking signals, radio, television, radar, for nearly a century. For any species advanced enough, we've already given away our coordinates. And so, the debate becomes existential. Should humanity step boldly into the galactic stage, or hope the curtain stays closed? The James Webb Telescope has not answered the question definitively. Its images are hints, its data suggestive, but not absolute. But maybe that's the power of this moment. Certainty would end the conversation. Mystery keeps it alive. And so, humanity waits, between dread and wonder, between silence and announcement, between fear and hope. A faint glow on a distant world has already changed us. Because whether those lights are volcanic flares, alien megacities, or nothing at all, they have forced us to confront the possibility that the universe is watching. When the James Webb Telescope launched, no one predicted it would reshape philosophy as much as science. We expected galaxies and nebulae. We did not expect whispers of alien shorelines. Webb's true legacy may not be in the images it took, but in the questions it forced us to ask. Was Proxima b always destined to be the first mirror we held to ourselves? Or is it simply a coincidence, a nearby planet that happened to tease us with tantalizing patterns? Either way, the mystery has made us more curious, more united, and perhaps more humble. Visions of tomorrow. Picture the year 2060. A small probe the size of a pizza box streaks into the Proxima system, its solar sail folded and burnt from decades of travel. As it swings past the planet, its camera snaps the first true close-ups. The images beam back to Earth, taking just over 4 years to arrive. Crowds gather in every city, staring at giant screens as the pictures unfold. Vast oceans glittering under a crimson sun, strange green blotches clinging to rocky continents. And perhaps, just perhaps, geometric patterns too precise to be natural. The world holds its breath. Children grip their parents' hands. Elders whisper prayers. It is the moment humanity becomes a planetary species no longer alone in the dark. What it would mean for us, think of the consequences. Every philosophy, every religion, every scientific model, rewritten overnight. Wars and divisions on Earth suddenly seem trivial when compared to the vastness of other civilizations. The idea of borders, nations, even money could feel like relics of a childish era. Or perhaps the opposite. Perhaps fear hardens us, and humanity builds weapons, fortresses, and walls in the sky. Discovery alone cannot guarantee wisdom. It only guarantees choice, and the choice will be ours. Close your eyes again and imagine. One quiet night, deep in some observatory, a signal hums through the speakers. Regular, deliberate, unmistakably artificial. The first reply. On the other side of the void, perhaps a Proximan scientist stares at their instruments, just as astonished, just as fearful. Two species, born under different suns, finally hearing each other's voices. What would the first word be? A greeting, a warning, or simply a question? Who are you? But until that day comes, all we have is the Webb telescope, its golden mirrors still drinking light from the cosmos. Its data remains ambiguous, its clues frustratingly incomplete. Yet maybe that is the beauty of science. Answers come slowly, keeping us curious, keeping us reaching. The glow on Proxima b may turn out to be auroras, volcanic fire, or just the tricks of a noisy star. Or it may truly be the first sign of neighbors in the dark. Either way, it has given us something priceless, the sense that we are on the edge of a discovery bigger than ourselves. So the next time you look up at the night sky, find that faint red point just beyond the reach of your eyes. Know that around that tiny ember, a world circles in darkness, mysterious, maybe inhabited, maybe not. And remember this, for the first time in history, humanity has the tools, the ambition, and the restless curiosity to find out. Will Proxima b reveal life, civilization, or nothing at all? We don't yet know. But one thing is certain. Once the truth is known, there will be no turning back. If this journey through science and imagination has kept you wondering, don't let the mystery stop here. Hit that like button, share this story of Proxima b, and subscribe to join us as we explore the frontiers of space, science, and the unknown. Because the next great discovery, the one that changes everything, might already be on its way, and when it arrives, you'll want to be here to witness it.